This machine barrels down on you, and the front of it has these gigantic, like curved spikes. It almost looks like a claw-shaped, all made of metal, like this gaping maw almost, with these like really, really long like spikes. You see this. It looks like it has like 6 wheels, and there's like a gigantic like makeshift crane behind it with this gigantic wrecking ball. It's kind of like swinging freely behind it. But as it approaches both of you, you suddenly see it slam on its brakes and come to a halt, like literally like a foot from you guys. Like the gigantic spikes are kind of like hanging out right above you. And it's a beautiful moment. You guys just holding hands.
I feel like I don't know coins actually spawned, so in my head there's this like crazy cloud of dust that passes by and wind, and everything settles, and then they just look at each other and go, cool.
So you see like in the middle of this gaping maw, this skeleton with like flames coming off of it. With like this kind of like toothy, like one tooth missing, like grin, and suddenly it detaches, and it like flies directly towards you. These like flames coming out behind it. And it goes right in between you guys and into the fort. And then 2 beings kind of emerge from the side of this mechanical beast. Like scrawny, frail figure with like leather coat, like blue jean pants, like huge goggles, and there's like this like mad crazy hair sticking out everywhere. Following this figure is this gigantic beast that looks like it's been cobbled together from different devils and demons. Like you notice like the leg of a bone devil, like a bunch of other things, and it's got like this weird like insectoid face, and it's got like this like intestinal tube coming out of its mouth, and it's kind of wrapping around to its back, and you see some sort of mechanism on its back, and they both kind of land on the ground together, and she stands up and walks forward, and removes her goggles, and it's this ancient lady, like crazy eyes, like wrinkles on top of wrinkles on top of wrinkles, and she kind of has this scowl on her face, and she kind of surveys you, and she looks at you, Raijin, and suddenly the scowl turns into a half-toothy smile, and she says, for a second there I thought I saw a ghost. Gave me a bit of a start. But fate wills. Son, grandson, cousin?
I don't hear anything. Yeah. I was like, are you Mad Maggie?
And she kind of looks to all you and says, is he stupid?
No, he doesn't have any ears.
Definitely stupid.
We ran into some weird stuff.
Yeah, he's normally not.
She says,
I'm eating a rash.
She says, sure you did.
I'll pull out my bit of wire and then message her.
Okay.
Again, and just be like, are you Mad Maggie?
And she repeats. She says, fate wills, but fate wills, my son. Are you son, grandson, cousin?
And I'll message back. Hold on. Yeah. I'll message back. If you mean relation to Vohan, I am the grandson.
She says. She messages you back, and she says. She says, thought so. Come into my fort. Right. Welcome to Fort Knucklebone. She says, I hope that the Red Caps didn't give you too much trouble.
Kind of like look at Clash.
So you see, like on top of the battlements, like like probably a dozen of these like figures with these like crazy caps and all have crazy hair and these like steel boots, and they're all like laughing manically, and you see them exchange coin between them as they kind of like step back and kind of resume their duties. She turns to one of them and says, "Bring the grinder in," and she kind of taps you on the shoulder and says, "Come, have a meal with me." It messages you, and then to the rest of you, "You all are welcome to."
As I
Fuck you. Pleasure to meet you.
She says, "Fuck you too."
Oh, thank you both for that. Thank you.
She's like, "Mad Maggie."
I'm setting that joke up for 30 seconds.
As we walk in, I'm going to stay close to her thing and like just kind of like inspect it.
Okay.
From a little bit of a distance, just kind of like, how is all of this held together?
Yeah, you see like it's breathing heavily, and it seems to be relying on some strange like metallic tanks that are strapped to its back, and that organ intestinal like tube. It's like sewed onto its mouth. Yeah, and it's basically breathing from this tube.
Is there any exhaust whatsoever?
No, not that you can tell. It seems to breathe in through the tube and out through its nose. It's like this insectoid type being. I think I've got a good picture of it.
Is it just standing there?
It's walking with you guys. It's got this like really strange gait because it's obviously two different legs, and there's like these obvious like stitches of like where like there's like the skin has been stitched together. This leg has been stitched onto one side, the other leg has been stitched onto the other side, but a little bit higher. So it's got this like weird like gait to it.
So
and it looks kind of like
flesh golem thing.
Oh, that's freaking awesome.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Oh, can I see?
I love it.
Very cool.
That thing's awesome.
My God.
So it's got this.
Do you have a photo of the grinder?
Yes. Let me see.
It should be right in that same area.
Yeah. There's a bunch of. No, it doesn't have the demon grinder on here. So I can find it. Hold, please.
Okay, no worries.
It should be before the monster stats up.
Yeah, I think somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Here's all the stats. Here it is. So it looks like that.
Dang.
Nice.
The thing almost ate you, Q.
Yeah, and you think you might have been able to get underneath it. It might have caught you, but you're not entirely sure.
I was willing to take the risk.
Yeah. So the sound of that infernal, horrific screaming starts up again, and you see one of the red caps laughing manically, floors it, and it kind of spins out and does this fishtail, and it drives up in between one of the fingers of this mountain.
Fucking sick.
Yeah.
They were doing donuts.
Yeah. and
does this thing have spikes on its wheels?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's like gigantic. Like these wheels are all metal. Like they've been. You can tell they've been welded together with a bunch of different pieces. But yeah, there's like these like super deadly like spikes on all the wheels. On every surface, there's like some kind of spike protrusion or something deadly on there. You also notice. Give me a perception check.
11.
Okay, yeah, don't notice it. Never mind. Yeah, and it takes off and goes up. Mad Maggie leads you over to this like what at first appears to be just a mound of junk, but there's like an entrance that's kind of carved out of this mound of junk, and she kind of opens the door and leads you in. And she says, oh, I forgot the name. Entering Candlekeep. That's what you guys are, right?
Yeah, we're in Candlekeep.
Coin's just kind of looking around, surveying the battlements.
Okay. Yeah, there's just massive junk. Like, it's a tinkerer's dream, right? Like, there's just stuff everywhere, gears and sprogs and sockets and all this stuff, and you hear music to your ears, some kind of sound of some kind of work being done further up the hill. Mad Maggie turns to this weird golem, and she says, "Mickey, wait outside. Make sure no one bothers us." And it kind of nods, and
named Mickey.
you hear a and it kind of turns, and you follow Mad Maggie into her little hut.
Yeah, but like, excuse me, Mad Maggie, or Maggie. I don't want to call you Mad. Did you make that?
Oh yes, beautiful, isn't he?
Yeah. How do you get flesh sewn together and staying with life?
Well, it's a trick. Necromantic, obviously.
I may have some questions later.
No problem. Happy to help. And she says, "So, Demonicker, is that what did him in?" What was the?
Not from a Jedi.
Oh, I just said not. From
Oh,
a
not
Jedi.
from a Jedi. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yep.
She says, too bad. We made this conversation a lot easier. So what?
Is she talking about me? I saw her point at me. Are you talking about me?
She messages you and says, yes. She's like,
I don't suppose there's anything anybody here can do about that. It is mighty troubling.
she says, unfortunately not.
Got anything to eat?
Yes. She kind of rings like this bell, this dinner bell, and one of the red caps kind of runs in. You hear like the kum 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 of the metal feet, and he swings the door open, and the door like smacks into the wall. And she says, "Bring us something to eat." And he like laughs manically, says, "Right away!" and turns around and runs off.
A lot of happy folk around here.
She's like, they're hard to manage at times, but they provide useful. She says, so I think she begins to talk, and she's messaging and talking at the same time. So we can kind of get past the
Oh,
awkwardness
fine.
of that, so I don't have to translate twice and everything. But
You made him deaf.
I did make him deaf, so it is my fault.
Right? You did this to
I
me.
did this. So she says, so what brings you here? Vengeance?
My city got stolen. Did you see it
Oh,
floating?
she's like, oh, Elturel. Oh. She's like, yeah, that's happened before.
That's happened before.
Well, yes. I mean...
Elturel's been to hell before?
Oh, no, not Elturel. Other cities. Drugged down from the material plane. Feed the armies of Avernus.
That's a thing.
Apparently this is. Okay.
She's like, I will admit, Zariel has kind of gone extra big time on this one. Nothing this large has ever, at least in my lifetime, has come to Avernus.
Is Zariel the guy with the blade ship?
Girl with the blade ship, yeah.
Oh,
the
girl with
corrupted
the blade- I
angel
like
that
make like the
hell
low
Avernus.
rumbling, like when
She
she mentioned Zariel.
yeah, she kind of give me an insight check.
Okay. Oh, it's very bad. It's a 2 on the die.
Okay, yeah, I mean she recognizes the sound, but kind of chuckles and says, "Good impersonation."
So we were told to talk to you by a fellow named Sim, a wizardy folk.
Okay, she blushes. Deep red blush, and she says, "Oh, Sim, how's my little Simmy doing?"
You know Sim?
Well, of course I know Sim.
Do you know?
She's like, "A lady never tells." she says, "Oh, so what errand has the mighty Sim sent you on this time?"
Sent us down here to talk to you so we can get our city back.
So we're trying to save the city.
Wondering if we could find a hellworm larva too.
Oh yeah, we need a hellworm larva for the crazy bug people. He told us about he was looking for the real him and some other paladin dude.
Yeah.
I guess they're like super powerful, but they're still stuck here somehow. I don't know how that works.
Also, while we're here, if you know anything about a magic dragon egg, just personal. That's just a personal thing.
Boy, that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
We're busy people.
She says, "You ran into the voice of the mountain, evidently."
Yes.
Yeah, is that what she's called?
I repeat the Mad Maggie has no power here.
She says,
from that lady.
She said, "It is true. I do not control the mountains to the south of here, but I've got my own little plot of land here that I would consider my own."
Yeah, I like this better.
She says, "Isn't it beautiful?"
Yeah.
So this is more of an out of character thing.
Yeah.
She's a hag, obviously, right?
Yeah, some sort of hag.
Can I or
Whoa,
anybody
that's
call
mean.
that?
She seems perfectly nice.
Well, I mean, she spoke about necrotic powers and you get the vibe that she's into that kind of stuff. Like you probably see random chicken bones and random stuff kind of strewn across her counter and
What kind of food did they bring us?
they haven't come back yet.
I'll cut into personal things and go. So you knew my grandfather?
She kind of
Kitty.
Meow. Nice. She kind of removes her skull cap, and the hair just kind of goes,
Is it literally a skull cap?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think pieces of skull have been knitted in with leather and stuff, and there's metal spikes sticking out of it. And she kind of takes it off and she says, poor Vohan came to me. I saved him, saved his life. He asked, demanded poor Maggie, me, poor old me. She says, I had no choice but to agree, of course. I snatched a few things from him, hid them away, so no one could find them, sent them off, as you see, and they're out there, and he said that he would return for them, but he hasn't come back.
So
You're speaking in riddles.
Oh,
you
sorry.
have things He gave you things to hide while he went off to find stuff.
Well,
These things that you took, were they physical material things?
No, sorry.
Or did you
Memories.
take stuff from his head?
Memories.
Okay.
That's kind of what I thought.
I took the memories from him, made him forget.
Oh god.
To protect him. To protect him.
No.
Protect him from what?
From Zariel. The information that he had. Ooh,
What
dangerous
did he
information. I know not.
But you'd have
So
memories.
who's the guy that she stole the memory from again?
Vohan,
My
his
grandfather.
Yeah.
Oh.
What memories do you have of his?
I don't have them. I sent them off into the ether to roam about for a while. They should come back anytime now.
Do you think this has anything to do with them visions you've been having?
I think I've been getting the memories.
She kind of raises a crazy long-haired eyebrow and it kind of twitches a little bit. She says, "Ooh, interesting. You've got them then."
I think so. That's the best explanation, I guess.
She says, "Interesting. And how many have you gotten so far?"
How many have I gotten so far? 4 or 5?
Yeah,
4 or
yeah,
something like that.
4 or so.
Yeah.
And
You haven't
she's-
really shared them, so
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm just I'm trying to think probably 3 or 4 at least. Yeah.
Okay. She says, triggered by things?
The most recent one was in the weird swamp where I lost my ear holes.
Oh, the Ichor Swamp.
Yeah, and
You
walked
went
right
around
into
it.
the Ichor.
You went right around it, didn't you?
No.
If by around you mean directly through, then yes.
So I'm beginning to see
We were
your
right around there.
modus operandi straight through. So you went straight through the Ichor Swamp, straight through the mountain controlled by the voice, and straight here.
Lady, we got
Yes.
places
A direct
to be.
line between
Oh,
two
you guys
places.
didn't mention the purple worm.
Oh yes, we did kill their
Take that
worm.
too.
Oh, that would be why you're looking for a larva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like having right hands.
She says.
Is that what happened with this?
Yeah.
She says.
We agreed to what?
She says. I know.
Matching tattoos. Just to remember.
Yeah.
Fuck.
She's like, I can give those tattoos here while you're at it as well. But she says, I'm afraid I can't help you. Might check with the Wandering Emporium. And then she says, but, so what are your next steps? What's your name?
Raijin.
What next, Raijin? What do you want to do with these memories? Do you want to send them off again? Forget?
No, if there's more, I want the rest. Because they've been kind of fucked up.
Okay, she kind of, like strokes her like old lady like scraggly
Right.
pieces.
The 7 long hairs.
Yeah, the 7 long hairs
That are hanging off her chin.
off of one mole. She's kind of, she says, they were supposed to come back on their own. I'm guessing he's dead.
Yes. For
Difficult.
a while.
Difficult. She says, I do love a good challenge. Give me some time. Let me think on this. The food should be... Where's the food? So at this point, you hear a giggle right outside the door, and the door kicks open again, kind of splinters a little bit, and this red cap comes in carrying these 2 bowls, like one personal bowl and then a larger bowl, and he sets it down, the larger bowl down on the table, and hands the smaller bowl to Mad Maggie, and she says, no, not that type of food. And he kind of frowns and turns around and picks up the big bowl and walks out. And then
Can we see what was in it before?
it looked just like a soup. Like a normal soup.
That's questionable.
And then he comes back in and sets a different bowl down on the table, about the same size.
She picks it up. Where's everybody else?
Yeah. And then she kind of rummages around and pulls out like 5 or 6 bowls and kind of sets them on the table. And she says, help yourselves. And she begins to sip. And
I take mine and just push it over to Q.
Okay. And she says, yes. And she kind of is lost in thought at this point. She's kind of like, she's kind of sipping from her bowl and like, what now?
Just the soup.
The soup is pretty good, actually. Like, it's got some sort of like strange vegetables that you've never seen before, and some chunks of flesh. And
There's free soup.
And yeah, at this point she's like completely ignoring you, and she's kind of got her back to you. She's kind of like rummaging around. She like pulls out a book, starts flipping through. Like after maybe 15 minutes, if you don't like talk to her.
Yeah,
or anything,
I was going to. Excuse me, Mad Maggie.
She kind of goes, "Oh, yes, you're still here."
Yes, we haven't left. We need. Do you have? You said you don't know where the worms are. The worm larvas are.
No.
And you don't know. She hasn't really answered anything.
Speak for yourself.
She says, I'm very sorry. And she sits back down, leans back and says, how may I answer your every question?
Fantastic. Do you have any advice on how we can break the chains pulling El Terrell down that nobody's brought up yet? The real reason we're here?
I mentioned it briefly.
She says, they've never been broken before that I know
How do we
of.
stop them?
Yeah, but we're pretty great. So
Have
if
you-
someone were gonna break them,
Have you tried a hacksaw?
Yes.
Welder?
Julian, did you say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I was gonna repeat what Sim said when he said, if you need transportation, find Mad Maggie.
Yes, transportation.
Oh.
oh, more details about this plane. Maybe fill in some of the gaps on our map. Write down some more names.
She
tell
says
us
she
some
kind of
more info.
like her eyebrows, both of them go up and wiggle, and she says, "You have a map of
Yeah,
Avernus?
Yeah, it's a rough map. Yeah.
I must see this." And she kind of puts it away. Whoa. Minnie's down. There we go. Go ahead and hit the power on that TV real quick, just so it doesn't get too warm here.
Do you know of any?
She kind of looks over it and she says, ooh, beautiful. And she says, yeah, vaguely accurate, I would guess. Yeah.
Where is Fort Knucklebone on here?
So Fort Knucklebone is here.
What?
Okay.
You have your own map.
Well, perhaps you can help us make it a little more accurate. Give us.
She says,
Make it map
oh
your
boy.
map.
Oh, my chubby little boy. She says, impossible. Like, I'm sorry, my rotund.
Continue.
Okay. She kind of shrugs and she says, Avernus, this map in and of itself is supremely impressive. I've never seen anyone even remotely attempt to map Avernus. I mean, the vague area that all of this stuff is in seems accurate, but I mean, Avernus is just Avernus. Like she kind of I think she assumes that you know more about Avernus. Like, you know, she's just kind of, it's Avernus.
Yeah.
And she
Does
kind
it
of
change?
What?
she kind of shrugs and she says, yeah. She says,
Where is
she says some things look to be a day away and they take a week. Some look to be a week away and they take a day.
Yeah, that's how we got from here to here in like less than a day.
And once you start looking closely at the map, it seems really strange. You traveled quite a ways and within a day and a half. You know, like
Yeah.
What a great way to explain away the inconsistencies of travel in a D&D game.
Yep.
It's just
Where
GM's
whereabouts is this this merchant you were talking about?
Also, what is it?
That is ever moving as Avernus.
The Wandering
It's
Emporium.
the Wandering Emporium.
Is there any way to track this wandering emporium?
Says, if you know the right people.
Has it been here recently, or is it due to stop back by, or can you call them here? Or...
No, Mahadi does what he wills.
Do we need to go stand in a certain spot and like do a jig and
Yeah, like a crossroads.
She says, the fates are more in charge here than anything.
Where are the fates?
You wonder, you happen upon it when you need to happen upon it.
Well, we need to happen upon it now, and it's not
You
here.
said the name.
You turn around and it's
a
there.
room.
You said the name Mahadi.
Yes.
What kind of feller is this?
Beautiful man. Oh, just glorious skin, smooth
You know him
as a
too?
baby's bottom.
Is he from here?
She kind of,
or
like,
did he
looks
come
at you
here
and
from
winks.
somewhere else?
She says, no, he's not. He's not.
the type?
No, dang it. Why am I drawing a blank? He was not born in
Denizen?
raised. Yeah, denizen of Avernus.
Avernesia.
As most are. I was not born here either.
Oh, you're not some kind of weird devil lady?
She kind of like looks down and she says, "Not yet, anyways."
Mickey is a little bit, isn't he?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well,
probably a lot of it.
Where would you suggest we find out information for the worm larva?
I mean, Mahadi would know. He knows where everything is. He's a purveyor of things. Him and his emporium, if he doesn't have it on hand, he can get it. Almost anything.
And
for the price, of course.
Yeah, that leads into the next question. What sort of price does he usually ask? Because we've had to make a couple of deals already, and little good, little bad.
She says, mostly money, sometimes favors.
Okay,
Just depends.
Okay.
When was he last saw?
Oh, boy. I've seen Mahadi, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago to the south. But, I mean, really, he's all over.
Well, you know what we're trying to do. You know this place way better than we do. If you were us, what would your next step be?
Well, I'm trying to solve your memory problem. So my first step would be patient and wait for me to figure out how I can maybe recover those things.
Shit, that ain't our strong suit.
I say probably our best bet right now is Maggie, if we can stay here till I take it this place doesn't get dark.
No.
But until the morning, we all need to rest. We are completely. I've got 5 rounds left, and I need to make more.
Died twice today.
Not a bad day.
She says, yes, of course. I don't have any dwellings to speak of, but pitch your tent wherever it may lie. I would suggest to stay out of the tracks.
Okay.
Did you pitch a tent with my grandfather?
She kind of winks.
That's what she meant by grandson?
And she says, just because of Sim. And she kind of smiles broadly again. And she says, if you are going to be spending some time in Avernus and traveling around a bit, I might need some things for what I'm planning. I'll get you a list.
What you planning?
I mean, it's not like we know how to leave.
And she says, if Sim, if my favor to Sim is being fulfilled, I may be able to provide you with some wheels.
Fucking Q's eyes light up.
Okay. I'm just trying to think. Do you have any reading material on Avernus at all?
She says, no. It's Avernus is odd. Things about Avernus don't stick in books very well.
Right, things are fluid, ever changing. Can't think about it too much. Yada yada yada. But you know things.
Well, yes. I mean, yes. She kind of gestures at the map.
All right. Well, let's figure out, the easiest thing I can think is, let's figure out where we are and then just do circles.
Right, because we're
gradually going out.
We're kind of over there-ish, right? And we saw the weird bridge thing.
Yeah.
Ask her about the bridge thing.
Yeah. What is this? What is this?
Oh, the docks, and you touch it, and it says it's like crazy. It says the Stygian docks.
Yeah.
And she says, "Ooh, it speaks to." Oh. She kind of touches the side of her face, and she says, "Oh, who gave you this map?"
I believe it was Sim.
Oh, Sim, of course. He's always able to find the prettiest things.
Yeah, not much of a wizard, but he can draw a pretty good.
She
map.
kind of looks offended, and she said, "Sim drew this?"
As far as I know, or he had help.
He had gotten it from someone.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, the docks. That's where Zariel refuels her war machine, her fortress."
Oh, so we
the
don't
sword?
want to go there.
Yes. Oh, you've seen it.
Yeah, we saw it land and kill a bunch.
How close?
Too close for comfort.
Too close.
Oh, if you talk to
There's what I'm looking for.
Talk to Chukka and Clunk. Any information you could give them would
and Clunk.
Chukka and Clunk.
Chukka
Any information you would give them, they would greatly appreciate.
And Clunk, is that at the Stygian docks or is that here?
No, that here. They're a couple
one of the red caps, mad caps.
No, Kinku. They're actually working up on the hill.
Oh, they're your type.
And she said they would find that most interesting. And then what?
The only thing I can see on her that looks like something the thing that we killed is this. I touched that right there.
Nothing, no sounds come from that. She says that looks like another ichor swamp, probably sludge from Bell's Forge. And she,
I take it this is the forge.
Yeah, and you touch that, and it says.
Is that number H?
Yeah. She says, it says, an ousted archduke sulking in a volcano, eager to reclaim his stolen throne.
Oh.
Is that the former leader of this plane?
Well, she says, well, you haven't heard?
No, we're new here. If you haven't realized,
Zariel stomped in here, thinking she's all high and mighty. And she says, oh God, I'm drawing a blank. Asmodeus entreated with her, kicked Bell right out. Zariel took over. Rather funny story.
I'm assuming that was after he cut off her hand.
Oh, you know a little bit more than I would think. Yes,
I-
Zariel.
Memory
Oh, yes.
thing.
Ooh, interesting. She says, yes, Zariel's hand did go missing right before her fateful meeting with Asmodeus.
did she make a pact with the voice of the mountain?
Oh, no. much too low for her. She made a pact with Asmodeus himself.
Oh, that's not good. Okay.
So, do you know anything about these hellworms? What kind of territory they like?
She's like, they're rare for sure. The only hellworm I knew of was south of the Voices Mountain. Kept it as a pet, I believe.
Yeah.
Beautiful creature.
How about this? Do
Ate
you
one
know?
of my machines once.
Do you know where the Hell Riders went?
Maybe my scene part of it.
Oh. Well.
That's kind of all over, wasn't it?
Yes.
But I'm asking specifically
Right.
your grandfather,
Right.
where he went.
Well, he came to me, rather desperate, on the brink of death. I rescued him from some devils that had been dispatched, fought them off, drug him in, barely alive. He asked me to hide some information from Zariel, information about a specific location. He wanted his memory wiped clean, so if Zariel found him, he wouldn't give up this information. So I complied, erased a bit of his memory, sent it off into the wind to return. He said that it was of huge importance later. He said, time will heal all things. That this is the key. But I don't have any other information about
eyebrows.
Was there?
That doesn't sound important.
Was there anyone else with him?
Coins.
He
He
was
was
alone.
curious.
Do you know how he got back to the material plane?
Unfortunately, he ran off after I erased his memory.
Which
And I
direction?
believe Zariel picked him up.
That's great. That's horrifying.
Ominous.
Coins
Do you know where
just
he was trying to
shifting
go?
in his chair. He's all upset.
I know not.
Nobody gets anything for free.
Yeah,
You just wiped his memories. What did you give him? Because he asked you for this, so you must have wanted something from him.
She kind of grins and says, smarter than you look, little man. She says, let's just say I had a vested interest in Zariel. I'm a bit of an enthusiast, and there's always cards on the table. Everything's always moving in Avernus, and this is a pretty powerful card, a key to Zariel. If I was in control of that, helped that, then when it came back, I would have that power. I could decide Avernus's fate. And she kind of like, sparkles in her eyes and like glassed over look. And she says, just think, something, some information that could come back, that could either give Zariel more power or snatch it away. And she says,
You still have some of the knowledge from the memories, don't you?
She says, I don't.
Avernus's fate? Elturel's fate?
Oh, she says Elturel is a small card in the game of Devils and Demons.
But if you had this key, it would also alter the fate of Elturel?
Well, yes. I mean, Zariel has done very well for the Devils of Avernus. Turn the tides. The demons are on their heels. Depending on how I would like to go, I could turn this information over to the demons, help them take over Zariel, or I could help Zariel and maybe bring an end to the demons.
Do you think that's really possible? Do you think the blood war could finally end?
She's like, I doubt it, but information is power.
Okay, I'll bite. What do you want for the information? You have it. I want it.
She says, I may have a way of getting it back to you. Our deal, if I can do it, would be that you give me the information that you have. That you get.
So it's just, I get it unless you have some of it.
You relay what you see.
So then we would both have it.
Yes.
Frankly, man, I don't care what we do with the Devils.
I don't see a downside.
Get the hell out of here.
Anything to keep us from sitting in one place too long, because I even think being here would even eventually cause Maggie to have some issues with us being here, because we're not supposed to be here.
I mean, I don't feel like anything's supposed to be here, but yeah, you're not wrong.
Somebody is, just not us.
I just don't know.
So if this information can alter the anything basically of Elturel or of Avernus, as you word this, which would include potentially returning Elturel to the material plane, potentially.
Yes, it would provide a rather big knock to Zariel's power.
This is basically leverage over Zariel,
yes,
more or less.
Of course. I mean, Avernus is built on leverage.
Right. Devils and their deals. Yeah. The devils and the details. All that good bullshit.
Well, share whatever knowledge you have already, and then let's see where we can go from there.
Okay.
Things can't get much worse, right?
Okay. So she grabs a pot of something warm liquid and pours it all and says, "Tell me what you know." If you want, we can.
Yeah. So I mean, I know there's
He had a sword or something.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think of what I know from the game and not what I know that's a little bit of meta, because I know a little meta.
Yeah.
So Hellriders come in, big battles and stuff. Zariel strikes a deal, becomes the leader of the legions of the Hells. Somebody cuts her hand off. I don't know if it was
just like a big
or somebody
or something. Yeah.
I'm assuming the sword was lost.
So the last vision you had was in the tent, and your grandfather and Zariel's generals and he had the sword
That's
sitting
right.
on his lap.
That's right.
And
So he hid the sword from her, and that's why he doesn't want her to know. Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
that's
grandfather had the sword, hid the sword, said, "Maggie, take my memory." So when
I don't know where the sword is.
Yeah. So we got to find the sword then. If we find the sword, we can have leverage over Zerial.
If we find the sword, that may cut the damn.
she says
Best guess.
she says the sword. There's rumors that it contains a piece, a spark of Zariel, a part of her celestial essence.
The Horcrux.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, she says it could be used. A sword of that power is could be used for great good or great evil. If Zariel claims it for her own, she could increase her power exponentially. But if there's an essence of her goodness in the sword,
it could revert her to angelic, whatever.
And she kind of smiles and kind of gives you the.
So it could either make her the most powerful devil in the whole fucking history of everything, except maybe Asmodeus, or it could maybe turn her back into an angel.
She says, in theory.
In theory. Hypotheticals and all that.
But either way, she would owe whoever helped her a lot.
You didn't write any of this down? Maggie didn't write any of this down?
I don't think she ever actually had any of the information.
No, she knows information about Zariel. Like she knew about Zariel invading Avernus, and she knew about her fall. She didn't know a lot of the details. You gave her like a on the ground account, which she was very interested in, but she doesn't write anything down.
And I'm assuming that my grandfather didn't come here with a sword.
No. So
and none of the other people were here.
No, she said she really enjoyed the information about the sitting around, and she says the fates of those generals I know not. Your grandfather's the only one that I ran into.
Just from my own personal stuff, none of those people came back.
No. Your grandfather was the only one.
Is the commander of the Hell Riders right now like a descendant of one of those people, or?
They were a descendant of one of the part of the Hell Riders that were cut off on the material plane side when the portal fell between Avernus and the material plane. There was a remnant of Hell Riders that were stuck on the material plane when they're starting to retreat back through the portal.
Right.
It collapsed. Some of them were on the material plane. The bulk of the Hell Riders were stuck in Avernus.
Right.
Do you know of any Hell Riders' existence right now? Whether they're alive, have turned, or whatever.
There's a crypt built in their name.
Where?
She points here.
Neat.
A half days away.
Somewhere between a half day and a month.
Yep. And it says, when she points, the map speaks.
That feels like a point of view.
Crypt of the Hell Riders would make a sweet metal.
It says, Zariel's fallen companions cannot rest. No, nobody can rest in this nightmare hellscape.
Sick.
I could use a rest.
So, if you were to give us transportation, rough guesstimate, how long would it take to get there? Anywhere between 3 days and a month?
Yes. She kind of shrugs and she says, "You're beginning to get the point."
Okay.
Then vehicles.
Class shrieks, larva.
Alright, we gotta find the weird fucking...
She says,
Yeah, I'm saying that should be like our number one priority. Though,
it is, but I mean, we don't have any clue where to go. I mean, do you know of any great worms? I mean, the only great worms that I know of are dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe that'll work.
Yeah, she says she rummages around in a drawer and she pulls out a wishbone. It's larger and it's black, like deep black, and she hands it to you and she says, "Tell you what, I will speak with Mahadi, and I will give him the location of that. He may find you. You're interested in rare things? That excites him.
Is this something that has to sit on the outside of her body, or can we hide it and
Oh, no.
he knows where it is?
No, I mean, scrying on an object happens all the time. He will scry on that object and...
But what if it's in a pocket dimension?
Oh, not recommended.
So just keep it in a regular bag, not the bag of holding.
Yeah. Not keeping it in my chest with the rest of the ribs.
Just for my own personal shits and giggles. Big dragon skull.
Yeah, great worm. That's the only thing I think for a hell
She
worm.
says the monument of Tiamat.
All the more reason not to go there.
Pull out my crown.
She says, "Ooh, very interesting. May I see it?" She looks it over and she says, "Ooh, beautiful, very old." And she hands it back to you.
Comes this matching dagger.
And she says, "Ooh, are you a worshiper of hers?"
No, I worship another dragon. Just a regular green dragon, the material plane.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, there are plenty of dragons up that way. Archon the Cruel is known to stomp about them parts.
Yeah, I was looking for that feller, actually.
Oh.
Anything you could tell me about him?
Dangerous man. Collector of dragons.
I need to meet that guy.
Worshipper of Tiamat.
Okay.
Strange hand.
What kind of what is Tiamat like?
Horrifying.
Never spoke to her myself.
Evil.
But look at the crown. I've
Pure
heard
evil.
she has 5 dragon heads
Yeah.
of different colors.
That sounds neat. I want to see that.
Wait, is the dragon that you worship the one from Dragon Ball Z?
No.
What's Dragon Ball Z?
Loosely inspired by.
She says, "Well, I believe Tiamat is captured, hidden away. Archon's looking to get her out.
Huh.
So you probably couldn't just walk up and have a chat. I wouldn't recommend it."
Okay, if
Sounds
we're heading...
like he needs my help.
Well,
No.
Right now, I think our best bet is to go to the crypt. But looking at the map, there's only 1 or 2 options we're going to have to go through. It's either this one or this one.
What is that thing? What is that thing?
so you tap your finger on
Yes.
Yeah.
that. It says
Dick butt.
dick butt. It says, "The purest of souls lures fiends into a hellish trap. Zap zap."
That's all it says.
Yep.
So it's some kind of fucking giant
What is it called?
devil
zapper.
bug
Let's
zapper.
That's all that it
Bug
says.
zapper?
Yeah.
Oh, that might be a good thing then. I mean, if it's killing devils, that might be something. Maybe there's an ally there we can speak to.
Do you know anything about that thing?
Have you gotten close to it? Seen anybody get close to it?
It's a bit out of my stomping grounds. I've heard rumors of a weapon of some sort against demons in that area.
Neat.
Demons, huh?
Probably
Fucking
fine.
hate demons.
I got a question on
That's
the-
probably why this thing is so close to it.
Yeah.
What's that lady's name on the mountain?
Voice of the mountain.
Voice of the mountain. What's her deal? What do we deal? If we walked up to her area, what are we walking into?
Well,
We already know what we're walking into.
yeah, you
Angry
kind of
bugs.
trounced right through the
she's
middle of
missing
it.
a word.
You probably have more information than I do. I know she has some bug warriors and some humanoids that never speak.
Did she have a big worm?
Yes. Yep. She
They
did.
were humanoids?
Yeah.
Fuck. I forgot to steal like their soul.
Well,
she says.
do you know if there's anybody who operates this thing?
She says, I just know of a weapon. I know nothing else.
Okay. What about this? Because this would be the other direction.
You click on that. You tap that.
Yeah.
You tap that. Tap
Looks
that
like
map.
a Seabrix from.
Yeah.
Love to tap that
A
map.
breeder of horrors and a hoarder of secrets. A Cybrex is said to be as old as the abyss.
No, God, no.
Reader.
And she says, she's
We're
like,
lava.
I don't know of that area. That's too far south for me.
No.
Anything cool to the north?
No.
What else can we touch?
No.
What about this?
That one.
'Cause I mean, we'll be going past it regardless.
Oh, she says, that is an interesting one. You touch it and it says something first, but a tower tumbles between planes on the whims of a mad mage. Where it goes, nobody knows.
No.
And she says, there's a tower. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. I heard a powerful mage inhabits it.
Oh, maybe that's where Sim's real
Yeah, that's the
person
only thing I can
is.
think of.
Yeah.
God damn it.
There's a bunch of cool stuff.
Fucking kidding me?
Nope.
Well, I don't know anything
Oh
about
my
it.
God.
Man, we're gonna have to go through it. Just a mage there, mage tower. Well, he's out in the middle of the ocean or lava or whatever it is, so it's not like we're gonna be able to get to him.
Yeah,
Can your cars?
Cybrex overflowed, or Cybrex, the sticks overflowed and made sort of a lake.
Do you have any vehicles that can float on top of lava?
She says, no. She says,
What about
dirt,
flying?
dirt and hills.
Flying.
No, unfortunately not.
If you go fast
Oh,
enough.
I like flying.
Oh man, if anybody would have those like Florida crafts with a giant fan on the back.
Yeah, big old
Yeah,
blimps.
Airboat. Yeah.
Yeah, she says, have you ever ridden on one? Wheeled machine.
No, I am curious about them, and I was going to go and inspect yours
Yeah, I won't
later.
ride it.
She says, beautiful things, the rumble beneath you, the screams. Oh.
Yeah, what's with the screams?
She says, well, talk to Chukka and Conk. They will be able to fill you in on all of the ins and outs of these beautiful
I bet
machines.
it runs on souls. It runs on
That's
souls,
weird.
doesn't it?
She says,
Kia Soul.
yes.
Got some damn.
Okay. Well,
Stupid fucking Avernus.
Like
Goddamn
demon
shit.
souls?
What was
Are
that?
these sort of vehicles common down here, or are you the only one
She
who's
says,
got 'em?
I am a repair shop of sorts. There are roving bands of
What kind of music do they
gangs.
play?
Oh, all sorts.
This all is so fucking Mad
Banjo,
Max.
metal. Oh yeah, this is one hundo Mad Max.
okay. I guess that's.
And she says, yes, I've probably kept you too long. Get some rest. Feel free to go around. Chukka and Clonk would be sure to love the information about Zariel's blade. Anything that you can give them would be of great help. And I believe they're working on a grinder a lot like mine up on the hill.
Very well.
Between the middle finger and the forefinger.
Okay.
Pointer finger.
So I'm going to go up there, I guess. I mean, if you guys, I will be back. I'm going to go talk to them, see if I can figure out this grinder thing, see if I can get us some wheels.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see the fellow Kinkus.
Yeah, she says, I'll work on wheels for you as well, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
She says, because of Sim. She gives you a link. And she
All
kinda,
right, yeah, turn around and go
She
up.
kind of giggles and sighs.
Insight check. Nope.